What's up, YouTube? JRilla2K3 here with you again. Tonight we are looking at the Mossberg ATR 100 night train, chambered in 308. Okay, so a little backstory. I've been kicking around the idea of getting a bolt gun for a little while, not real long. I mean, I've got the AR, I've got the shotgun, I've got the Glocks. I kind of wanted something that would let me do long range, and I know you guys out there are going to say, oh, well, you've got an AR, you can do long range. Sure, I can, but I wanted something that was going to be a dedicated long range rifle. And when I say long range, I mean 250 and beyond. Easily 250 and beyond. I mean, you can do that with an AR pretty easily, but my AR is mostly tacked out, you know, for close quarter stuff, not any long range stuff. So I wanted a gun that was specifically set up for long range. I didn't, some things, some notations, I didn't want to spend a ton of money. I didn't want to have to buy an optic separate. I wanted a out-of-the-box, ready-to-run package. I did some looking around online. I had initially looked at some Remington stuff, 770. I had even looked at Remington 700 and 338 Lapua, you know, Lapua Magnum stuff, which, you know, badass, but 1500 with no optic, but, you know, kind of tough to beat if you want long range. But, you know, for guys like me who I will probably shoot 100 rounds, well, I don't know. Initially, I'll probably shoot much more than that, but I'll probably shoot, let's say, 300 rounds max out of this thing a year, and that's way on the high side. I don't think that I'll be shooting this thing all that much. So, anyway, I told you all that story to tell you that after looking around and, you know, looking on some forums and looking at reviews and things like that, I came across this Mossberg rifle. I got it on budsgunshop.com for $430 shipped to my FFL, and that is a 308 bolt action, 4 in the magazine, which on the Mossbergs the magazine is actually right here, and 1 in the chamber. Now I'll tell you, 4 in the mag and 1 in the chamber on this guy is quite a pain to do, but I'm not going to get into all that stuff yet. I'm going to start by showing you, here is what the gun will show up in. It is a bright blue, white, and yellow Mossberg box. On the end, it will tell you, you know, exactly what you're looking at. So came matte black synthetic stock, 22-inch barrel, chambered in 308 caliber. Fluted barrel at that. Like I said, this is from Bud's Gun Shop. Decent service from those guys. Thumbs up. Shipping and stuff took a little longer than I had anticipated, but not too horrible. So, out of the box, I'm not going to open the box up because it's kind of a pain in the ass to do. Out of the box, you are going to have a Barska scope. They claim this thing is bore sighted at 100 out of the box. I'm going to tell you right now, there ain't no way that's the case. I took this to my indoor range tonight, which was also my FFL that I had it transferred into. Set it up on the bench, on the bipod, put some range ammo in it, took 1 shot at 25 yards, and it was low left by about 1.5 feet. So you do the math. If it's sighted in supposedly at 100 yards, and I'm off, you know, low left by 1.5 feet at 25 yards, you figure it out, it's not even close. So you will spend some time out of the box sighting this thing in. So the one thing I will tell you about this Barska scope, it's not a fabulous scope. Guys, we're talking about a $400 gun here. But the one surprise I did have with it is it has a lighted reticle. I didn't even know that this thing came that way. So that was a nice surprise. Nice clear optics on it. You've got the big, long, you know, sunshade or whatever you want to call, you know, the additional front. You can't unscrew it at the moment because it's too hard to do one-handed, but basically this section, essentially from here forward, all comes off. It's got, the weirdest part is, you know, it's got this sunshade or this cover on it. It doesn't actually fit on that tube. I mean, as you can see, it's kind of wobbly. It's made to fit back here. I figured that out. So out of the box, These guns, I don't know if you've looked at them online, you notice that all of this is polished up or chromed on mine. That's because I just did that. I took this bolt completely out. I put it on my benchtop polisher. I polished that thing completely up. And the reason that I did that is because I have heard about pissy, crappy action on these bolts. So I figured, what the hell, I don't have anything going on tonight. It took me all of about 20 minutes to polish that thing up. I polished every single piece on this thing that I could get my fingers on. And I can tell you right now that the action is no less than 50% better. Here's the thing you got to consider. I've shot maybe 2 bolt action rifles in my life, so I don't have a lot to compare it to. Is it comparable to a Remington 700? Hell no. It's also a third of the price as that, with optics and a bipod. The bipod, guys, I'll tell you right now, is plastic and fairly chintzy, but it, you know, comes with the gun. Now, the other thing that I'll tell you is, with a little tightening on this nut right here, you will change things pretty dramatically. My gun seems to be kind of a hybrid, because I've got this lightning trigger, or whatever their upgraded adjustable trigger is, and it wasn't notated on Bud's guns that this gun was going to come with that feature, so kind of a plus. So out of the box, you get the Barska scope with a lighter reticle. You get the plastic, fully adjustable. It'll go up higher than what it is, but that's just the way it's sitting. Bipod on the front, and you may or may not get the lightning bolt insignia trigger, which you can adjust from 2 to 7 pounds depending on your preference. So I didn't see a lot of reviews on YouTube that did me a whole lot of good. So my overall impression of this gun, guys, when you take it out of the box, it's going to feel like an absolute piece of crap, and that's the honest truth. I took it out of the box at the gun range, literally out on the range. I was a little intimidated, to be honest, because I haven't ever owned a bolt gun. The bolt came out of the gun. I didn't want to feel like a jerk tard and read the instructions right in front of everybody, so I jammed the bolt into the gun, screwed something up, and the whole bolt fell apart on me out on the gun range at the, you know, at the frickin' table. So here I am scrambling around, looking like an asshole, trying to find my bolt parts. I got it back together, and I got it in the gun. And it fired flawlessly. I didn't have any issues whatsoever, other than the scope not being sighted in. So some of the things that I didn't see anybody showing online. Here's your safety. Fire is forward. Everybody's going to freak out because I didn't make the gun safe, but it's a bolt, doesn't have anything in it. So for me, usually red would signify dead. Well, apparently if you're a Mossberg firearm producer, I guess red being uncovered means you're good, and red covered means you're safe. So there you go. Your bolt release, if you come over to this side, is right here. It's kind of hard to see. So your bolt will come back essentially to that point, and then you have to push that detent down and remove the bolt. I'm not going to do it because it's a pain one-handed. The barrel on this thing is actually pretty nice. It's what they call, I guess, the heavy barrel. It is fluted. You know, I don't know enough about guns to know what the heck that's going to do for me. Mossberg 100 ATR, caliber .308 Winchester, New Haven, Connecticut. Standard stuff. Serial number back at the back of the gun. Here's a look at that Barska. Overall, it's a pretty nice gun, or a pretty nice scope. So here's the next thing I'll tell you. It does have a full floating barrel. You can actually, if you look close enough, you can see me moving it off of the synthetic stock, which I guess really the synthetic stock is the thing that felt chintzy out of the box. It just kind of felt almost gadgety and kind of loose. So quick tip for you guys, I screwed this up pretty bad tonight. When I took my bolt apart and polished everything, I noticed that this piece of Picatinny that is aluminum Picatinny on top of, you know, the rifle itself was a little loose. It's got there's one right there, one right there, 4 Allen heads that hold it on. Okay, I didn't make a close enough note of it. There are 2 short ones that go in the front, and there are 2 longer ones that go in the back. like I said, I didn't pay much attention to that. If you do not get, I took them out because they were loose. I wanted to put some blue Loctite on them. I don't want them loosening up again. I took them out. I didn't pay attention to orientation. I tried to drive the bolt home, and there is as far down as the bolt latch would go, as opposed to all the way down to there. I took the bolt apart. I freaking looked at the manual. I could not figure out for the life of me what the heck was wrong with this thing. Well, turns out the 2 long Allen bolts go in the back, the 2 shorties go in the front, and you know what's weird is I could even run my finger alongside, inside, you know, where the receiver is, excuse me, and I couldn't really even feel the threads of those Allen bolts. So, for whatever reason, you know, it was locking up inside there. So, quick tip for you: if you do take that Picatinny off, if yours comes with that, your bolt will not go into full lock if you do not have the Allen wrenches or the Allen bolts in the right places. With the gun, you get a sling. It's chintzy, but you know, whatever. Who needs an awesome sling? Actually, you know what? I wouldn't even say it's that chintzy. It's got metal hardware on it. You know, it's not Uncle Mike's or any of the high-end stuff. But once again, who cares, man? $430 shipped. So, decent butt pad on the back. I had thought initially about doing, you know, some tactical colors on this thing, some FDE or something cool like that. But I mean, this gun, I don't know, maybe I'm a proud new papa, but this thing looks pretty sexy in black. It's real flat, but it's got kind of a matte finish to the black, so overall pretty nice. Like I said, the Barska scope, we'll see. I'm going to take this thing out. I live in Colorado, and we've got a place called Pawnee Grasslands where you can go as many yards as you want. I mean, 1,000 yards if you want. But I'm going to take it out and probably play around with 200 and 300 yards and see how that scope is. It probably gets pretty cloudy at that distance, but, you know, whatever. I can always put a better optic on it. The other tip I will give you, when you get your gun, you can flip the bipod mount around either direction. Now these legs do fold up either front or back, but if you flip it forward, it seems to be more stout to me. It had a lot of wobble in it before, which is a real pain in the ass if you're relying on that thing to shoot off of. So, guys, overall, you know, initially I will tell you that right out of the box things were a little rough with the bolt falling apart on me and things feeling loose and stuff like that. My recommendation to you would be, before you take this thing to the range, take it home, clean it up. It's going to be leaking oil from everywhere. Every seam on this gun had oil leaking out of it, and I'm not talking like what felt like high-end gun oil. I mean, it felt like this thing had 20 weight gun oil or 20 weight engine oil, you know, leaking out of it, which is fine. I'm not knocking that stuff, but it's going to be everywhere. Take it home, tighten up your Picatinny rail, tighten up your scope. Mine was not even finger tight. Tighten up the big, you know, nut on the bipod. Take this bolt out and polish it, or have it polished. If you don't have the ability to polish it on your own, you may spend $30 to have somebody do it. I can tell you right now, I have a $40 Ryobi bench grinder with a $3 Harbor Freight polishing wheel and about $2 worth of green compound, and this is the best investment I have ever made. Actually, I got that grinder for Christmas and I put that attachment on there. I mean, this thing was jet black, and this is about 15 minutes. Hell, if you Google or if you go online, you will see everybody else's bolt. It also had a Mossberg insignia on, which I didn't have a big hard on for, so I polished all that stuff out, polished the front, and this thing, it runs so much better than it did when I got it, just from that 15 minutes worth of work. I mean, that action is way smoother than it used to be. Like I said, is it a Remington 700? No, it's not. Is it worth $430? Heck yeah, certainly is. Shipped to my door, Bud's Guns. I think I got the last one. It was weird. It was $415. free shipping, and then, you know, some processing. Oh, the Buds gives you a cash discounted price. I paid it with credit card, so it was $15 extra, so $430 shipped. It was weird because right after I bought the gun, it went up to $427, then it went up to $433, and then the next morning they weren't available anymore. And I think that's why I kind of got this weird hybrid with the adjustable trigger, because I don't think they're coming with that in this one. Now they make a newer one that's got a muzzle brake and a bunch of other stuff on it. This obviously isn't that one. That gun's $700. So for $430 shipped to my FFL, I am pretty pleased with my purchase. I plan on doing, you know, some good shooting with this thing this fall. So there you go, guys. If you have questions like I did about the Night Train 100 ATR, definitely put comments in. I will answer any questions you have. I've got 20 rounds through this thing so far. Whoop-de-frickin-do. I just wanted to put some down the range tonight just to get a feel for this thing. It kicks pretty good. I would say it's very similar to 30-06. 308 seemed like a pretty good NATO round to get a hold of. They make this thing in like a 270, 30-06 to, gosh, I don't even know, 308 obviously. So a variety of different calibers to pick from. So I'm kind of rambling on, but that's basically it. If you have questions or anything, please post them up. I will be happy to answer them for you. I had a lot of questions on this gun that I couldn't find on any other reviews on YouTube, so I probably won't do like everybody else and post pictures or video of me shooting it, because that's not very fun to watch, at least not to me. So there you go, guys. Mossberg 100 ATR and 308 review. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, and that is 20 round reaction. Not higher, because initially the gun feels pretty cheap until you get things tightened up, and the work you're going to have to do on the bolt to make it nice and smooth. So there you go. Questions, leave them on there. I'll take care of them and get them answered up. See you guys.